Taurus, as I've been connecting with your energy throughout the day, I actually went on a bit of a walk and I was just smelling the flowers in the rain and really taking in that beautiful scent of lilacs and cherry blossoms. And it just feels so much like we are in the heart of your season, which we are at the time of this recording, but this is a timeless reading, so you're welcome to watch this whenever you feel drawn or called to do so. If you've been following around for some time and haven't done so already, I really encourage you to hit that bell and subscribe button. That way you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. Now, I really did want to pull some botanical cards for you because I was really connecting to plant energy. Maybe some of you are connecting to green magic or herbalism. That is a message I keep getting for you, so that's interesting that it keeps coming up. I really don't bring it up much for the other signs, so I'm curious how that connects to all of you watching. But I got the cards Hollyhock and Rowan, and the messages for these cards respectively are abundance and protection. And on quite a literal level, maybe there is something about you protecting your abundance, protecting your security, your stability, your shelter. Hollyhock is associated with abundance because it is a food source for many birds and insects, hummingbirds, moths, and it also provides shelter as well. So it does feel like there is something about you taking shelter, protecting yourself, really grounding yourself, and also that creative life force, that fertility as well. It feels like you are supposed to be kind of selective with who you are surrounding yourself with, especially since Rowan is also protective. Maybe you are literally creating a safe space for yourself with this combination of cards, or that is advice for you. Now, the Rowan tree is also sometimes called the Wayfarer's tree or the Traveler's tree, and this is because it is thought to prevent travelers from getting lost. It can serve as a landmark. And again, there is something that is protecting you, something that is guiding you, actually. And I think it's very important that you are paying attention to signs and synchronicities, because it feels like the universe or your spirit team is especially loud to you right now, whether you work with your ancestors, spirit guides, or any number sorts of beings. I feel like it is important that you are kind of opening yourself up to the potential that everything around you is divination. Everything is movement and going in cycles and moving in patterns, and there is a reason why you are in a place at the time you are in it. And so I think really opening your perception to this possibility is really significant right now, because I feel like there are signs, there are markers that are trying to show you where to go, especially if you are feeling lost right now. So really pay attention and open your heart and your spirit to receive that guidance. I am going to pull some tarot cards for you now, because I really do feel like it's important to kind of get into the messages here. I feel like there's something that is making you feel a little bit lost right now, or just kind of figuring out where to go next, especially in terms of home, where you belong. So as I'm shuffling here, I just want to give my friendly reminder that these are general messages, meaning not all of them are meant for everybody watching these videos. I really encourage you to practice your own intuition and discernment to figure out what applies to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. Maybe even taking a moment to pause this video and really connect with your body so you can feel what messages are meant for you at this time. I do have links in the description of this video for my website, where you can book personal readings and energy healing sessions with me, as well as links for all of my official social media accounts so you know that you are following me. So what are the messages that we have for Taurus? What is the wisdom and guidance that we have for Taurus? Show us clearly, please. I'm actually feeling like I do need to call in the protection of the archangels. And this is something that I usually do before I hit record, but it just felt like it was something that was important for me to do right now. So I'm going to pull some cards, and immediately the moon is what comes out first. And this is quite literally feeling lost or confused. There is a calling with the moon, but it's like navigating through the dark night. And sometimes this almost feels primal or instinctual. You feel called to do something and you don't know why. What is this moon about? What is the moon about here? Why is the moon here for Taurus right now? Maybe many things. You might just feel like you are in a fog. My goodness, with the Seven of Cups. Literally the two cards I was thinking were going to come out for you, because I was saying I feel like you're a little bit lost right now. Both of these cards are probably the two that most signify a sense of confusion, maybe even deception, or needing to discern between fear and intuition, or perhaps even desire and intuition. It feels like there is a lot up in the air right now. There are just some decisions that you need to be making in your life. What are these decisions about, please? I mean, it definitely feels like the cards are already communicating very clearly in this reading. Ooh, wow, the Devil. Tell me more about this. I don't usually go here, especially in these general readings, but I do feel like maybe there is a bit of a negative energy, whether that is psychic attack, you could also call it a curse or a hex. It feels like there's just something that feels cloudy or foggy. And what I am also getting from this is that it may feel like other people are having a hard time perceiving you right now. And so you might be looking for opportunities, you might be looking for love, and there's just something that is clouding you. You are being shrouded. And so I think it's very important that you are cleansing your energy, doing some sort of practice to kind of revitalize your energy field, and maybe even clearing out your space as well. I always encourage doing that with ancestral practices, if that is something that is available to you. Yeah, because this Devil, I mean, this almost feels a bit literal, especially with the protection card. It might feel like right now your fears and insecurities are drawing in some unwanted energy. And I think that's something that's kind of important to think of when we talk about curses or hexes or psychic attack. It's very easy to kind of externalize these things, but the way I sort of view them myself is that it's almost like a weakness in your own energy. There's already some sort of self-limiting belief that is existing there, or some sort of wound, because shadow doesn't create anything. Shadow has to work with what is being cast by the light, the truth. And so when someone is working in this kind of negative domain, they're not actually putting anything on you. They're not actually creating anything. You can't do it that way. There are very powerful practitioners who are able to work with these energies, but it's not really creating anything. So resolving these psychological wounds through introspection, through therapy, through shadow work, through somatic practices especially, can be very helpful in kind of lifting energetic ailments as well. So that might be something to kind of consider, especially since we do have the rowan. Maybe there's even connecting with rowan berries, working with this plant medicinally or spiritually or magically might be something that's very powerful for you right now. And what I'm also feeling is that you might be losing certain opportunities with hollyhock here. That might be why this card is coming out. Because there is a blockage to your abundance or to your worth. Because abundance isn't always about money or finances either. You can have what you desire. There is enough. The King of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you really are getting a handle of your emotions here. And regardless of whether we think of this Devil card as some sort of energetic attack, which it may be for some of you, I do feel like ultimately it does tie in to emotions and emotional well-being and taking care of your psycho-spiritual health. Um, and it's about being present with your emotions right now, your fears, your insecurities, without necessarily believing in them. You know, that's the thing with shadow work. It's interesting that I'm recording this at night too, because I haven't been recording after dark for a very long time. So it definitely feels like there is some shadow work that is important. And I think for a lot of you, it's either tied to finances, abundance, or things about self-worth. And that could tie to relationships as well. Again, like, there are certain things you are not seeing right now. And I think that's because of your own self-limiting beliefs or perceptions. So it's important that you are opening your mind, that you are staying receptive, which is very King of Cups. Because I do feel like someone is doing something behind your back or being deceptive with the Seven of Swords. And they may be gaslighting you. Oh man, this reading took a direction. But I mean, it kind of came out right away too. It felt like you need to protect yourself, especially if someone is asking for money or trying to work with you on something. They might be trying to steal your ideas. Be very mindful of that energy and who you give your ideas, your presence to. What is this situation about? Because this could be a work situation, this could be a friend, a family member, a love interest. What is this Seven of Swords pertaining to? I don't know if it's just one thing, which is interesting. Maybe there's kind of an overlap of spheres there. You know, being careful with who you do business with. Oof, interesting. We do have the Queen of Wands or Mother of Wands. So there could be a fire sign for you to be wary of. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but especially Aries here. And this is someone who might be a little bit dramatic, a little histrionic, theatrical, larger than life. And it has worked hard to get where they are. But definitely feels like a big personality. Can be a little bit of a diva, actually. Or just have like kind of a big, bolsterous personality. I keep hearing they think they're funny. Like they laugh at their own jokes when no one else is. What is this pertaining to? What is this pertaining to? Interesting. This could be about a relationship, or like a marriage specifically with the Hierophant. Could also be about someone who claims to have similar belief systems to you or similar values. Could also be a fellow Taurus. Maybe Taurus Aries cusp. I feel like it almost gives a little bit like a cult leader, like a big personality, and there's like the spiritual connection with the Hierophant, but it might go a little bit more broad than that, actually. Because I feel like there might be some spiritual influences or influencers that you are following, or just kind of in like a certain brand of spirituality, I should say, that's actually like kind of shallow or empty. or it's not really nourishing you anymore. And there's kind of this like confusion, this lostness, and it's be careful who you go to answers for. That's really interesting. Um, because I feel like there could be someone who's kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing, or someone who's just sort of like ungrounded, or maybe even manipulative. Yeah, be careful where you go to for spiritual connection and spiritual sources. And regardless of who or what you connect to, it's ultimately something that you should feel empowered to do for yourself as well. And if this person or this kind of source or community or whatever it is you're connecting to does not empower you in that way, it's always like, buy this course, buy this product, do this thing, sign up for this service. It feels like there's something that needs to be discerned there, if I could be completely honest. And that might be why you need to protect your abundance. I'm going to be honest, this might not be the time to invest in like some big spiritual retreat or training course or something. Is that correct? Wow, I knew this card was coming out, the Ace of Swords. Yes, this is an affirmation. The cards are very, very communicative right now. And like, I want to tell you, if you don't have a divination practice, now is a great time for you to start. Trust your intuition, learn, even if you don't feel like you understand the meanings of the cards. Honestly, you guys, I genuinely regret beginner readers, because you see connections, you see things in cards. Use decks that have lots of very detailed images and lots of colors, lots of different symbols, and really just ask yourself, what is standing out to me in this card right now? Of course, you don't even need to use the cards, because I really do feel like the universe is communicating with you in very direct ways, or ways that may even seem quite mundane. So pay attention to the signs. Because I feel like even though there's someone who's being deceptive, someone who's kind of being almost like taking advantage of you, you see it, you know it, and you're sort of doubting it. It's almost like you are suppressing your own intuition. And maybe that's like the negative energy. It's almost like a spell someone has done on themselves, or some sort of intention they have put on themselves. And it's drawing people in, but it's like drawing in people who are confused or lost. Wow. Where's all of this going for Taurus? Or is there anything else that Taurus needs to be aware of? What is the card for the future? Justice. Finding balance, seeing things clearly and objectively. Take an objective look at things. This could also be involving like a family member or a friend as well. Maybe someone is involved with a figure or a group that doesn't feel quite right. Maybe they're trying to get you to join or to take a course with them or something like that. Could be a loved one, or like a partner or something, but it actually feels a little bit different. Be really objective. See things really clearly. Be very logical, actually. See things as they are, rather than for the potential or possibility of what they could be. That is actually what I'm getting with this Justice card. Whew. Okay, Taurus. Any other messages here? I want to pull some blessings for you in a moment, but I feel like there might be some more messages, because I am curious. What is going on in love for Taurus? What is going on in love? We do have the Hermit. So yeah, this is a time to introspect and reconnect with yourself. I was kind of getting that. And that doesn't mean that you can't date anyone. That doesn't mean that you have to break up with somebody or anything like that. But it feels like the relationships that are most valuable to you right now are ones that are reflective. ones that help you introspect or ones that give you the space to do that. And maybe even having kind of like a more heart-to-heart conversation with somebody, really calling someone in. But to be honest, it does sort of feel like right now, Taurus, there is something powerful about standing on your own and standing in your own power. Maybe some of you are connecting with a Virgo, but this feels like it's about you. The Ace of Wands, I was just looking at this fire, and I was telling you, like, look at the thing that draws you in these cards. There is a spark, finding that passion, finding that creativity. You know, sometimes when people are looking for love and like kind of have this pattern of really destructive relationships, it's because they're creatives, they're artists, and they're not tapping into that. And just kind of looking at the devil here, might be wondering if that's a case for some of you. How can you feed your inner fire, your passion, your creativity? How can you love yourself? Honestly, this is giving a little bit of like tantra or like sex magic, really feeling your own desirability. Not trying to get demonetized, but maybe like pleasuring yourself. In a very giving way, giving to yourself. Interesting. Just gonna say that. That could be something that's really, really potent and powerful. And I mean, we do have a full moon in Scorpio, I believe on May 12th. Again, this is a timeless reading, but maybe it's interesting to look back on 2025 around May 12th, what was going on for you. Or maybe the next Scorpio full moon. That could be a very powerful time to work with sex magic, to be honest, to use that to manifest things. And I think it is about letting yourself receive that energy, that potent sexual life-giving energy, which is kind of part of the Taurus Scorpio axis. It is literally life and death. It is a portal between the two. So you are a part of that equation, Taurus. I'm also, I was hearing, you know, before the start of this reading that you are not meant to live an ordinary life. And that might be why you feel sort of lost or like you're seeking out other people. But like you're meant to bloom, you're meant to blossom, you're meant to draw things into you. And there's beliefs or conditions from childhood or from your younger life or in your past that made you feel like you needed to shut yourself down. And so it's really important that you are reconnecting with yourself, because without yourself, you can't really have a relationship. Any other messages for Taurus? What are the blessings for Taurus? Let's go into the blessings. Yes. Okay, love it. Good. Wow. Okay. I just had a bunch of cards come out, and the first ones I saw were the Ace of Cups and the Magician, so definitely some beautiful manifestations here. Something that feels really renewing. Maybe there is a new relationship, new love, but I feel like that comes in when you are giving that energy to yourself. I'm just gonna say. And for those of you who are looking for a relationship, don't cast a love spell on somebody else. I think that is a huge waste of energy. I know people are like, it's mind control, it takes people's consent away. I don't personally think that's really how it works. Maybe someone did put a love spell on you though, and that's kind of why other people aren't paying attention to you, but it's not going to make you fall in love with that person most of the time. It's just kind of like, it creates an obsession, or it's not the way to do this work. What I would encourage someone to do with a love spell is to cast a self-love spell, or to cast a spell to draw in healthy and giving relationships supportive relationships, which very well could be coming in here with this beautiful, beautiful Ace of Cups and Magician. We do also have the Ten of Cups coming in here as well, with the Queen of Pentacles. This almost feels like your energy, very much like an Empress, very practical, very grounded, very sensual, very comfortable here. And the Ten of Cups does speak of harmony. It speaks of connection. So I think it is important that you are connecting with people, regardless of whether that's a romantic context, whether that's with friends, because I feel like some of you, with the devil and kind of this maybe spiritual influence, maybe you're being isolated from other people right now. But I do feel like you're coming out of this hard period. I really do. With the Six of Swords, you are leaving a challenging period behind and moving into calmer waters. There is kind of a rainbow after the storm. And I mean, it's been raining all day. It's still raining in this reading right now. So paying attention to rainbows, paying attention to the weather, that could also be portending things as well. I feel like, Taurus, you're really beautiful and you don't always see that in yourself. Kind of coming back to those flowers that I was connecting to earlier today. Because you've been kind of closed. And it's time to blossom. And blossom for yourself. Because I feel like someone is telling you how to do that, but they're actually just, the intentions are not pure, unfortunately. Yeah, there's definitely something that needs to be released with death at the bottom of the deck here. Do some cord cutting, do some energy cleansing, do a ritual bath, whatever it is that you do. Because I feel like by severing what no longer serves you and reconnecting with yourself, that is going to be very, very powerful. Yeah. And bring in lots of abundance. And that includes relationships, that includes other sorts of blessings, that includes all things that make us feel abundant. Yes, King of Pentacles, stability, groundedness. There could be a new job as well, or some increased financial security. Anyways, Taurus, those are all the messages I have for you at this time. I do hope that this was helpful. I hope it wasn't too heavy. I really don't give you these messages to scare you. I give them to affirm what you may be going through and just being very honest and direct, so that way you can kind of work through whatever is going on in your life. You can find all of the links in the description of this video for my website, where you can get personal readings or distance Reiki sessions with me. And I will see you all in the next session. I'm sending lots of love and blessings your way and lots of positive energy. Take care.